This is Jerry with Jerry's Retirement Wisdom. Today we're doing a DIY project. We're going to replace a Seagull lighting generation transitional recessed traverse LED light. Basically, it's an LED version of that can light that you have in your ceiling. First off, before I forget to mention it, I'm not an electrician. I don't give electrical advice. If you have any concern whatsoever with doing this project, be sure to hire a licensed electrician. And like I said, I'm not giving electrical advice. We're just doing a little DIY project. So to get started, I'm going to discuss the tools that we might need to do this project. I've got an electrical tester here. There's a multi-tester. You can also test electric with a little touch electric tester. And we've got a touchless voltage detector. And basically, this works by putting this near your electric wires, and if there's any current in the wires, it'll give a signal. So there's 3 different ways, or even more, that you can test to make sure that you've got your electric turned off. We'll probably need a pair of wire strippers. So there's a couple different types here. You can use the manual type, and there's also this kind that can strip a wire with a simple squeeze of the handles. We'll need a screwdriver, and we've got some wire nuts if they're needed. So let's open the box here and take a look at this recessed light and see what we've got. We got this light from Amazon. It's supposed to be an exact replacement for the light that we have in our ceiling now. The one we have in our ceiling now, for some reason, wants to flicker every time we turn it on and off. I've already checked the electrical connections, and that's not the problem. So the only thing I know to do would be to replace the light. This light was $21.60 off of Amazon. So come in a simple box. It also includes some wire nuts and screws if they're needed. The light itself is a white light. It also includes a bracket that you'll need on the electrical box. And then of course your wiring's available here. So pretty simple design. What we'll need to do is take down the old light, possibly replace the bracket, and reinstall the new light. So we're going to get started here in a minute. Why don't you come along and see how we do. Well, we better get busy. First thing we need to do to get started is be sure to go to that electric box and turn off the power to the fixture. And I've already reminded you once, but I'll remind you again, if you're uncomfortable at all working with electricity, be sure you hire a licensed electrician. Okay, we're ready to replace our transitional recessed light here. First thing we need to do is to remove it from the bracket, and really this should be just as simple as twisting and pulling down on it, and that'll drop down out of there. Before we go touching a lot of wires, we take our tester and we touch everything up here. And this is called a no contact voltage detector from Ideal, and basically it'll indicate if there's any sort of electric source coming through these wires. It's silenced, that's good. If you want to test it, I've run an extension cord here to my light, and I know it has power. So we know that it's indicating when there's power. So we've already gone to the electric box and turned off the power to our fixture, and then we've tested it again just to be sure, even though we know the light went out when we did that. There's a bracket here on the box. We'll take it loose to give us access to the wiring, and these are the wires to this fixture. It would appear, since there's 2 wires to each of these connections, that this light is not only running off the individual switch, but it's also running along with the other lights. There's 4 of them here in the room. So the power must jump from this light onto another Lyte as well. So we have to be sure when we hook this back up that we make sure we hook up all of these wires, or you might kill the power to one of the other lights. So to take this one loose, we're just going to take off the wire nuts. Here, here, this one, and then lastly we've got the hot wire, which at this moment is not hot, but it's black. So the black would be hot, the white would be neutral, and the bare wire is your ground. I like to give this one more check, and we're good there. So the next thing would be to get the new part up here, get ready to put it back together. That was a simple removal. Because there's some extra wires there, we're using these wire nuts that are a little bit larger than the ones that came with the unit. But really, I tried real hard to buy an identical fixture so that I didn't have to worry about replacing a bracket or anything that would be difficult to do like that. As you can see here, we've got our hot, neutral, and ground wire. When they ship these to us, it has a little short exposed area. I think before I install this, I might want to get my wire strippers and strip that wire back just a little bit more, and that way we're sure to make better contact when we use our wire nuts. To do that, all we do is feed our wire here into the wire stripper and give it a little snap, and that'll expose more wire. And so I've gone from about a 1/2 inch of exposed wire to a full inch. And that'll just give us a little more contact when we put our wire nuts on here. Probably necessary to make sure we make good contact. So next step, let's do the reverse of what we did when we took it apart. We're going to hook our hot wire together with the other two hot wires. Give them a little twist here with our wire nut that twists on, and you twist that up on there tight until it's good and snug. And check your wire to make sure it's not loose in there. As you can see here, I've got it twisted around. Grab our second wire nut and twist that up on there. Same thing, you want to get it good and snug and make sure that the wire is not loose in any way. And then lastly, for the ground wire, some people don't use a wire nut, they just twist it, but it certainly would be a better connection to get that wire nut on there. Now, as you can see, we've got our 3 connections made, and we're going to put those wires back up in the box out of the way. Make sure they're clear of our bracket, and then our bracket right here is going to go back on those 2 screws where we found it, like this. See the 2 screws from the electrical box go into the keyhole shaped holes, and you just give it a little twist, and then really all we have to do is snug them up just a little bit with a screwdriver to make sure they're tight. Okay, so that's how we've got that. And now lastly,
our light fixture goes up. There's two little hooks I think I showed you earlier, where all this does is it goes up on there in those two slots. Make sure you don't get any wires pinched. Give it a little twist, and there you go. It's replaced. Now all we need to do is go back to the breaker box, apply some power to our fixture, and see if we've got a good light. I'll be right back. Well, as you can see, our light's been replaced and it's working, and it looks like another job well done. This has been Jerry with Jerry's Retirement Wisdom, doing a little home DIY project. Make sure if you like our videos that you like and subscribe, and we'll keep those videos coming. We'll see you next time. LED light in our ceiling, and we're going to replace the tradition. We've got a seawall on. First off, let's talk about the tools that we'll need.